The power of the dark. Side, 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 side,
Hello there.
General Kenobi. You are a bold one.
Hi everyone, I'm Marco from Syndicate Games, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's a bold one here, and today I'm on Marco's show, so thanks for having me on, man. I'm a fellow content creator. I love Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. It's been my passion, so I make different kinds of videos, usually stream a lot of Grand Arena Championships. Every now and again, maybe do some off videos, but been doing content creation for maybe about 8 months, if I remember when I started, but around that time. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on once again, man.
Yeah, well, today we're going to have it about a different topic than usual. We're going to have it about the best shipments from each store, and then we're looking at the perspective of how valuable they are for events, arena, or on like, are they good for starting players, or good for the whales, or good for the players who are in this game for a long time now. Well, let's start. Yeah, the normal shipments you see. I'll always go right now for the endgame players who don't have revenue yet, or gotta get Malak a light side. I would go for the light side Old Republic, or the dark side Sith Empire Old Republic. That's the part I would go for the normal shipments right now, if they have enough crystals. But still, I would just go. Sometimes there comes gear here that you sometimes need, but don't buy a lot like this one. I'm just going to buy it now. But what would you think if you look at this list now here? Who do you think you would buy now actually?
If I had the crystals, so to speak, kind of like you said, anything Old Republic at the moment, because they are meta. Even though Jedi Knight Revan is fading, he's still a really good character in Grand Arena Championships. And so any character that's going to help you get Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, Malak, would definitely be the only people I would spend crystals on, excluding there was one character, Empy's Nest, that I saw. She's a pretty hard farm, if I remember right. She's a hard node, 16 energy, or 20 energy maybe. So other than that, I wouldn't spend any crystals on anything else except for Old Republic or Sith Empire characters.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to spend on Old Republic anymore. I only got to gear them up. That's because you can get Jedi Knight Revan with pretty low geared Old Republic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's For the rest, I'm going for dark side Old Republic and Sith Empire now too, purely because I need Darth Revan. All right, let's go. The weekly shipments, like, we can't tell a lot about what you should buy or what would be the best, but I can tell you the upper left two things, purely because they are either crystals or ally points, which are like pretty easy to get. And yeah, it are always characters, and maybe here Gino should buy only five shards, but it is something you will need for the time when it is in the weekly store. You need it that week or maybe a bit later.
Yeah, I would agree. It's hard to always tell what there is. Kind of where you have your mouse cursor on. Those two spots, generally, you don't ever have to spend crystals. It's always like currency. So I usually buy whatever's in there, unless I just don't need it, absolutely.
Yeah, most of it is actually crystals. Like, there are only 2 characters that aren't crystals, I think.
So unless you're a whale, or unless you really need a gear piece and you just feel like spending $20-$30, like, obviously this like stun guns are always a good one, or maybe golden eyeballs. Yeah, like those right there.
I wouldn't go for for a full golden eyeball, okay, but not for a part to create it, because you can get those in the gold store from time to time.
Yeah, that's true. It just depends on how much of a rush you are in, I guess. So
yeah, true. Yeah, so here, yeah, you can see on the left upper character here, you can predict a bit what's coming in that time. Like now, we had this. It was needed for. We didn't have to predict anything because we know it was needed for the GOTB. All right. Well, let's go to the Cantina Battle Store. Here, it's our. For the starting players, I would say go for Chopper. Purely, you can using them for 3 events, and that's Palpatine, Tron, and he's only for Palpatine and Tron.
Pretty much, yeah, I would agree. Phoenix is always my. If there's somebody that's starting the game out, that's who I'm always going to recommend. Always start on Phoenix.
They also make a pretty decent arena team for the beginning of the.
Yeah.
And if you would go further, I would go for Ahsoka or Boba. Purely, Boba, Bounty Hunter's pretty good for Grand Arena, also Squad Arena. Yeah, and Boba is like a requirement for almost every Bounty Hunter team.
Yeah, no, Boba, whether he's in a leader slot or he's like an extra character behind a leader, he's always a good one to have because he's got like his Bounty Hunter resolve. So you got a character that, he dies, he can come back, and if he can kill another character, then he'll get an extra revive. Kind of like you said, Ahsoka now after her rework with General Kenobi and Anakin, she's a really good character. I probably wouldn't use her by herself or without Anakin in General Kenobi because they really all kind of like it'd be like running one of the triumvirate characters by themselves. They're good, but they're at their best when they have the other two to complete them.
Yeah, true.
And some other characters that I thought would be worth, if you run Night Sisters, Old Daka's like a must. She's like the healer, the reviver on the team.
One tip against Night Sisters: if you have a character that can kill and with an ability that won't revive, kill Daka first because you will prevent mass stuns.
Yeah, especially like Boba Fett. Boba Fett's a really good character on his execute. He can stop her from reviving.
Or I'm using the triumvirate with some Sith now, and then always annihilating Daka first.
Yeah, never, ever a bad decision. And then there was one more First Order officer. He's always a must in a First Order team because he can give a turn to one of the characters, and so you want him to be the fastest. Always want him on a First Order team, and then hand his turn off to crew.
He may not look tough, but he isn't actually really tough though. But he may not look tough. He is not tough, but he can make other stuff.
Oh yeah, he's super squishy. But if you can get him super fast, then crew or Kylo Ren mask will always. That's always a good first place to start when you hand the turn off to him.
And for the rest, if you just want an easy way to get Grandmaster Yoda, is rated the most easy event in the game. You can just farm some Jedi here. Like I use Jedi Knight Guardian against Tier 7 Yoda.
Yeah.
And let's go here. The Guild Store. If you are like higher in the game, for the gear, I would say go for like the golden eyeball pieces or here the Carbantes. But if you're beginning, like scroll lower, you can get all these pieces. Well, I really need all of them. No, not going. And here you see like the characters the gear you will need in the beginning of the game. It's not that expensive, so yeah, you will have enough probably to buy it all. And you can save up later for the higher needed gear.
Yeah, now I agree. Carbantes, now that they're a little more farmable through your what is it? Your event? No, it's not your event store or event place. I can't remember where it's at, but they're a little more accessible now. But I always pick them up if I need them. Golden eyeballs is always one that I'll always pick up.
Yeah, look, you need them for a lot of characters, mostly at the Gear 12 part.
Yep.
And here for characters, yeah, we can only see a few now, but I would go personally for the characters you will be needing now. I have Elder ready, Magna Guard ready, but if you're beginning with the game, I would say go for Rex maybe, because he makes a good leader for every beginning squad. And later on you could go for Duskins. I don't really recommend that story.
Yeah, Rex is always one of those good leaders that you can just kind of plug and play characters behind him. Like there was like a real interesting team where you could run Rex lead with Wampa, Scion, Mother Talzin, and then like a fifth. That was always, but he's always able to do that. And then So
Yeah, I
Colonel
would
Smart-
use him if you're using him in Grand Arena. I would rather use Cody lead under clones instead of Rex lead under clones because purely Rex can do more with non-clones than Cody can.
Yeah. Ewok Elder is a must, especially if you're wanting to run an Ewok team or do the C3PO event. You have to have Ewok Elder to make it work.
You need to get him. You need to get him under stealth, or you need to get him surviving, like for the wall event.
Yeah. And then Colonel, if you run troopers, Colonel Stark is a must. He's kind of like he's what makes the Imperial troopers really work.
You need the Zeta on him, I believe.
Yeah. You need his Zeta and Colonel General Beers. You need his Zeta too to make it work. But other than that, like trying to think of other characters that pop up. You have never do the Jawas. It's at the waist.
I mean, yeah, you never know. The old factions are needed in way more events right now. So maybe
yeah,
Jawa
hopefully. I guess at the moment there's no need for Jawas, but maybe that'll change in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything for Jawas right now, if I'm being honest.
And then sometimes like Scav Ray and Resistance Trooper will pop up. You obviously want to farm them.
Yeah, Jyn Erso gets in here too, but she gets in here really rarely.
Yeah.
So you should really farm her once she is here. She appears really rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, and yeah, you always have the First Order Special Force TIE Fighter. Not one I'm going to really recommend right now.
No, same here.
Yeah, the Squad Arena store, like with the Cantina Battle Store, go for Phoenix first. Like in this case, it will be Kanan. Yeah, and if you're going on 10, you could go for Castian, Leia, or HK. Maybe IG-88 because he's bounty hunter, but not the best one too. But
yeah, he's a really squishy bounty hunter. His damage output's crazy. So if you can get him, I don't know how much he got buffed after the
protection stuff. Not a lot. I'm using him in a Chewie event. He mostly dies in the first turn.
Yeah, that happened with me too. Basically, I believe he was able to get like one AOE off, and he just died. And so, but yeah, the thing about the Squad Arena store is that for what the current meta is, and like everybody in here is useful at some point. Like Darth Sidious isn't, Croth isn't, but other than that,
of the game, he makes a good Sith character, lead or normal.
Yeah, like his AOE can pop up exposes on the other team. That's about all I would say he's really used for is his AOEs.
In the beginning, before I got other Sith, I used him under Emperor Palpatine Lead purely because of the extra health and because together with Vader and the damage over time he does, you can like get really pretty good actually with the damage over time with and then with Vader's Cursing Blade.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, if you're obviously, I always recommend Phoenix starting out. So run Kanan. I would argue that Kanan's
I would now farm Newt Gunray too, as he became a bit more viable under separatist teams, and he is needed. You really need him sometimes, I think, for the Geonosis territory battle.
Yeah, he's definitely more of an endgame character, considering how hard Geonosis territory battles is. So
the character himself is really endgame. It's more like where you need him for his endgame.
Yeah. Also, like you said, Stormtrooper Han, Leia, you obviously need for
Commander Luke
Skywalker. So you obviously want to farm them right after. I would say do Phoenix first, then do Stormtrooper Han and Leia.
Yeah, I'd say like you can use Han and Leia later. I mean, if you have a second Rebel team, you could put Leia in it or Han because the taunt of Han.
Yeah, no, they're definitely good up until I think they're good mid-game characters too.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I think if you're running your best Rebel team, you aren't going to have them in there. So maybe like a second or third Rebel team, depending on who else you have. Admiral Akbar, I like Admiral Akbar. You need him for ships. So I would recommend you farm him at some time. He's also able to help solo the tank raid with some other characters. And then Savage used to be really good, but I wouldn't run him anymore.
Mhm.
And then HK is obviously like you need him for Darth Revan, so you want to run him.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, HK. Yeah, I would farm HK later on the game because you won't
Yeah.
be needing Revan at the beginning of when you start. Mace Windu, I just maxed him out. When I started the game, I was like, oh, he looks cool. I'm going to get him.
yeah, that was the same thing that happened with me. He was one of my first 7-star characters in the game.
He is geared well for me now. I really hope they rework him.
Cassian, obviously, if you want to run like his ship, you want him to be 7
He is
stars.
needed for the light side of territory battle. So
Yeah.
But we are talking about right now. Yeah.
And you got Grand Moff Tarkin. He's another ship leader. It's like Mace Windu and
under Empire, he is decent.
yeah, he can land a lot of debuffs, so he helps with that turn meter gain.
And with Vader maybe too.
Yeah, Greedo, he's good. He's a squishy bounty hunter. He's kind of fading out, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of survivability. I think he's even worse than IG-88. Still there?
Yeah, I think I lost connection just for a second.
Oh, yeah, but if I'm talking about Greedo, I think he's even worse than IG-88.
I
mean,
I
he
like
doesn't
him
have a lot of
because
health.
yeah, in terms of health, he's probably not much better. I do like his thermal detonators, and he can take buffs off of enemies and reduce their turn meter.
True.
So
And
it's
with
always
Vader,
it's a
he
little
can
helpful.
but not a lot.
No, not a lot. And then Asajj Ventress, obviously running Night Sister, you want to have her.
I see. I'm under the rank of 200. Seeing almost only Jedi Knight Ravens right now, but Ventress is like Night Sisters can defeat Jedi Knight Raven under the good circumstances.
Yeah.
Then we are going to the Galactic War Store. Well, I don't always go. Actually, I'm mostly going for ship with Geonosians. Yeah, I'm still like you're not going to get him. But the other ships, I got those mostly through here. And look at my Galactic War currency. I'm mostly getting every character here, so I get more shards of currency. Like here, I have him maxed out. Yeah, and the others, like Zeb again, you should start as if you're beginning the game because Phoenix again. And then here, yeah, Bodhi.
No, yeah, exactly. Like Zeb, obviously you want to run him or you want him in your Phoenix team. He's one of the staple characters. I have K2 because I got Cassian, and so I just put them together because they're good. They have good synergy off each other.
Yeah, they're like Baze and Melbus or Revan and Bastila synergy.
Yeah, I didn't bother with Bodhi. He's like, I don't even think I have him
like
unlocked.
the Rose of the Rogue One.
Yeah, I don't have a good Rogue One team.
Same for me.
So I just didn't really decide to run him. Cad Bane, I think he's a really underrated bounty hunter.
Yeah, but he is actually pretty. He can deal a lot of damage actually.
Not only that, but like his stun gauntlet is like super helpful.
Yeah, but if I'm honest, his basic can deal pretty high amount of damage.
Yeah.
Milkshake? Was that a milkshake there?
What's that?
Was that a milkshake there?
No, just a sweet tea.
Oh.
Cad Bane, I think is an underrated bounty hunter. I would put him let's say if I was running like the ideal bounty hunter team, Bosk, Boba Fett, Jango Fett.
Dengar. I would put when my Bosk and when my Dengar is put up, when my Django is put up totally, I'm probably going to use Bosk, Lee, Django, Boba, Dengar, and Cad Bane.
Yeah, that would probably be my ideal setup. I just think he's so especially he can double tap, and like a really cool combo is when Dengar.
And it's actually a pretty good. His basic can deal pretty decent amount of damage.
Yeah, and like a really good combo is if there's debuffs on an enemy and Dengar uses his basic, he can call another bounty hunter to assist. So like a cool one is where he calls Cad Bane to assist, and then he's double tapping on him. So you're getting 3 hits on a character.
Yeah, it's just like Cad Bane. He isn't bad. He isn't the best too, but yeah, I'm still using him in my I'm still not sure how I'm going to get Django as lead, because once Django's payout is activated, it's just impossible to win anymore from that bounty hunter team.
Yeah.
Because I'll get Django's and Boba's buff.
Yeah, and then looking at here, Biggs is like a really good first
Character with Wedge.
beginner game character. His ship is really good. Still pretty good end game too. He's kind of fading, but I think he's really good beginner mid game.
Still using him as a kind of backup in case I run out of characters. I'm using him as backup together with Wedge.
Yeah.
He's like my third rebel team.
Yeah, no, him and Wedge together are probably one of the best duos, I would say.
Yeah, true.
Tebow, I wouldn't do Dotchka. Just because at the moment I don't think he's needed. Maybe in the future he will be.
Yeah, Jawas aren't really good right now.
Yeah, and then Tebow, he was a good fifth for your Ewok team, but
now
I would say
Wicked and Chirpa and Paplu are here. Oh, Chirpa was already here. When Wicked and Paplu are now here, so he is like faded away. I'm still using him sometimes, but purely because of the turn meter he gives to Ewoks.
Yeah, like Logray is obviously your fifth. I think if you don't have Tim, then Tebow's your other fifth that you want to use.
Your Poggle, yeah, you need him now for the Geonosis territory battle.
Yeah.
And IG-86. Not sure about him really. He's only a droid, nothing more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he's a good beginning game character just to have, as a backup, just in case you need an extra attacker or something like in GAC. Other than that, I don't think he's even a good mid game character.
Yeah, true.
I'm not a fan of Tusken Raiders, so you won't ever see me use them. So
yeah, and here Resistance Pilot, I'm not farming him.
No.
If I would be using a ship, I would farm him, but the ship is it was the first ship in the game, really bad one.
Yeah.
Vesma, yeah, kind of mid game if you'd ask me, purely because he is a bound first order part. And
yeah, she's a good alternative leader. I think if you don't have crew.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you can also use her outside of a first order team, because the bonus attacks also happen outside.
Yeah, I like to tell people when I left. So when I first started, like in 2015, I played up until I was like level 76, I think. And then I quit, but the meta at the time was Captain Phasma lead and you wanted to run Dooku and Luminara, because Luminara was a great healer. Dooku.
Yeah, then you came back and the meta was Revan, and that happened to a lot of people.
Yeah, and so they were a good meta when I left, but when I came back, terrible meta. So at a time they were good, but
yeah,
obviously crew's like your first pick.
Yeah, and Magma Trooper, surely he if I'm correct, he is really good in a Tron team, pretty good.
Yeah, I still haven't quite figured him out. I still use him for Empire teams, but there's a certain way you want to build him to get him to be useful under Thrawn. I just haven't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah, same. Let's see here. Yeah, mod store. Only thing we can say about it, if you see an arrow mod with speed primary, go for it. Yeah.
I would add it. I don't buy anything under 5 dots. So if you see a 4 dot mod, don't bother with it.
Only if you're really if you're
beginner game, probably.
Yeah, or if you really need a bad mod to get like the last part done.
Yeah. Other than that, like, obviously if you see anything with like a speed secondary, it's worth buying, maybe, depending on how much currency you have.
Yeah,
and so what you can roll with it. But other than that, yeah, kind of like what you said, it's unpredictable for at times too. So
yeah, well, and then we are going. In 3 minutes the store is going to reset. Here, yeah, I would go for the Zetas. Zetas, they always be useful for new characters. if they come out. So if you have them ready, but if you're in a guild that gets like 3 or 4 Zetas every territory war, I would like go for I wouldn't go for the Zetas, more for the Omegas. And then you can, not even for the Omegas actually, because if you have a high GP guild, you get the Zetas automatically. And you have now the fleet challenges with the ability materials.
Yeah, like what I would say, in game wise, definitely want to buy your Zetas. That's what I do. If you're a beginner game person, just starting out, you obviously want to buy. So I made a video quite a while. It's like one of my first videos, probably my third video, I think. And what I argued was that the last tier on ship events with the ship ability mats, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The one that has the Zeta at the very last tier.
No, it has the Zeta on the tier before it.
Is it the tier before it? Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember which one, but
it's the Zeta on the last 2 tiers.
yeah. And so I argue that with your ships, you want to build up the ships that you need in order to complete those last 2 tiers, so you can start farming your Zetas 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, but now it
I
would.
did that,
I'm
and-
not even going to bother getting the last tier with like 10 times, because both of the tiers guarantee only 1 Zeta per sim.
And so I would say that after you finish all your ship current or your ship event tiers and stuff, I would say just start farming your Zetas. Maybe characters like Darth Vader, if I remember right, he doesn't have a node yet. He still has to buy him through the store.
And he has achievements.
Okay, and achievements, yeah. So, like, he's obviously somebody beginner game that you might want to build up because he's good for an Emperor Palpatine team, and other stuff like that. I wouldn't waste it on like Ezra because he's a Cantina store and like he's really easy to farm.
Not
Turret,
Cantina,
maybe.
Cantina battles, right?
What's that?
You said Cantina store, but it was battles.
Or Cantina battles. Sorry, yeah.
And tier Poe, a ship is pretty decent, but not the best one right now too.
Yeah.
And here we have the Resistance Pilot again. Clone Sergeant, a ship. If you gear Clone Sergeant up, his ship will be pretty good, but before that, I would say no, because else his ship is just bad.
Right. Yeah, other than that, there's not a lot of characters I think are worth farming from here.
Well, let's see in 5 seconds if something interesting pops up. Yeah, here we see Geos every time. I mean, their ships are pretty arena viable still, but yeah, I still gotta farm Geos, so yeah, why not? And here we have, almost the same. Wedge, he is the real waste. He's pretty good rebel leader, and the ship also pretty good. Zem, some characters I don't get why they are here, like Ezra. He's in a ship, constellated ship. But some people you see here don't have a ship, like Zem. Maybe they're adding a ship for him later, but I don't know.
Yeah. I doubt it, but I don't use her yet. I have her at 7 stars. I just haven't even touched her gear or anything. So.
Yeah, my annoying brother, he put a Zeta on Zem.
Definitely better places to put your Zetas at, that's for sure.
He went on my phone and then put the Zeta on Zem. A Zeta was aiming for Bosk.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, ships here, they are okay. I mean, Ghost and Phantom, you will need them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see this one in this ability material, never buy it. It's easy to get.
Nah, they're easy to farm now.
Yeah, and then let's go to the guild event store. Well, for endgame players, Negotiator. And if you have something left, go for the Gear 12 finishers.
Yeah, anything you need for Gear 12 finishers, probably the Kyrotech is obviously what you would want to get. I think it's one of the harder pieces to get in the game at the moment.
I don't know. I'll see. And then for mid-game players, I would say Rebel Officer Leia Organa, Imperial Probe Droid, Hermit Yoda, and Wampa.
Definitely, if you're a beginner mid, because you're probably not going to be doing Geonosis territory battles. Hermit Yoda, I actually just recently started using him again in Arena because I don't have General Kenobi at Gear 12 yet, and so I don't really have a good fifth. My Thrawn, he's good, but he doesn't really work that well against Jedi Knight Revan, just Darth Revan. And then Hermit Yoda gives a lot of turn meter. He can heal like an extra healer. He can get Master's Training. So I think he's a really good Jedi character. And then Wampa, he's just a good character. He can, on GOC, he can solo some teams.
Yeah, I see this. I only see this now, but Rolo and IPD, they are with the new. They are with the Geonosis battle currency.
Mm-hmm.
I get why, because if they would be on a normal one, why would you buy them if you're doing the normal guild, territory battles? Because then you can get them through the battle, and now you can't. And if you are not doing the off territory battle, you gotta use this currency for them. And this also gives me the thing. I'm also pretty sure now that a light side territory battle is coming, as Rolo. She was She was in the light side territory battles for Hoth, so yeah, if she's here, she wouldn't. If she's here, why would she still be in the territory battles then too?
Yeah, probably she'll be needed. So call me crazy. I think, and I could be 100% wrong about this because I don't think we'll see this for a long time. I think she'll be needed for a Jedi Luke event. I think it'll be her character.
Yeah.
Unless they make a new one. But you have Princess Leia, right? That's for Commander Luke Skywalker. And I think for Jedi Luke, you'll need Rolo unless they do another Princess Leia.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think you could maybe you'll need a bounty hunter Leia.
Yeah, I almost wonder they could do that. They could maybe do Endor Leia. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I have her at 7 stars just in case that's possible, like just in case that's needed.
Yeah, I have her at 7 stars purely because of the territory battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other thing I'm just with is, I think they'll either make a character that was kind of in the movie for Commander Luke for Jedi Luke Skywalker. I mean, the era we were in for Commander Luke Skywalker, that wasn't the era that character we used for them wasn't the era of Commander Luke Skywalker. That was the era of A New Hope instead of Empire Strikes Back.
Right, and so, yeah, because you use A New Hope to get the Empire Strikes Back Luke.
Yeah.
And then, so you might need Empire Strikes Back characters for...
or just the Return of the Jedi characters.
Yeah. So we'll see. I wouldn't doubt, GA or Capital Games CG. I wouldn't doubt if they ended up making an extra.
If you didn't notice yet, at the loading screen of this game, we're only missing 2 characters left. Those are Master Kenobi and Jedi Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Then if those 2 get added, we have all of the starting screen characters.
Yeah, and Jedi Luke's been there for a while, even in other loading screens. He
was on the first loading screen too, but then he had the blue lightsaber.
Yeah. So I don't think he'll be here until after Episode 9 pops up.
And maybe they will add the retired Luke, Hermit.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool too to have Hermit Luke.
Yeah, he won't be maybe a tank either then, because if you see him in The Last Jedi, he was like a tank. He was holding on so the rest could escape. That's great.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what we'll see when Episode 9 gets here.
He might even be support like that with Hermit Yoda. But I kind of hope we'll get to see him with a lightsaber.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, Wampa, he is pretty good for Grand Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are just mid-game characters. Here, most of the gear that gets here will be pretty much needed. Sometimes I see this here. Here,
you also got your stun cuffs right there. Those are always one that's really needed.
Yeah, no, you say so. I'm just going to done. But here, like, these are an event. These are in the challenges. Don't buy them. Look at how many I have them.
Yeah.
And here, yeah, let's get for the characters. Here, yeah, I'm farming Imperial Troopers mostly through here. I'm now farming Veers because they make a pretty decent offensive Grand Arena team. And here you have Cassian again. Kanan, farm him if he's there for a beginning player. Mid-game player, I would go for Veers. And yeah, beginning maybe Gar Saxon, by the way. And yeah, later on, I think, yeah, still mid-game. The characters you see here are mostly mid-game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cassian, yeah, I'll just side farm it. And here, the ships, those are also side farms because Cassian's ship appears here in the Guild Battle Store. And the others appear here in the Fleet Battle Store. Yeah, and let's go to the next one, the Championship Store. Yeah, there's a lot here. If I can maybe, there's one thing. This looks like a toilet plopper. Look, if you see the wall part, it looks like a toilet plunger.
Yeah, here I usually buy any Gear 12 or Gear 12 finisher pieces to Gear 13, like Chirotech.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I won't buy any of the mod stuff.
The mod splicing materials because you can.
Yeah, I usually won't.
It will be a waste of currency otherwise.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I'm just already, in case I ever get Dark Revan, I'm going to get this one. Better prepared than not.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll just go for the Gear 12 finishers if you're an endgame player. Else, I would go for the rest. But don't buy the mod slicing materials because you can get them on mod nodes.
Yeah, there's a lot of events you can do now. So.
And here, yeah, General Grievous. I would say you get him. He appears in the fleet store from time to time. So I wouldn't bother getting him here in the shard store because you gotta. Mostly he appears with 10 or 15. 5 doesn't appear a lot anymore, and then it will kind of be a waste because you can't buy anything else anymore.
Yeah, I mainly just buy the gear I need, like stun gun there.
Yeah, I would only buy Grievous if I'm honest from the Fleet Arena store. That's how I got him to 7 stars.
Yeah, I don't even know what my Grievous is at. I think he's at 6 stars, but I'm not really in a rush to get him because I don't have all the characters I need yet to quite make him viable. Like I don't have B1 or B2 yet, so I'm still kind of behind. So I'm not really in a rush to get him at the moment.
Yeah, I always only the characters I'm going to need. I'm put those in favorites, so I can easily see will I be needing that gear for that character. So here, yeah, Traya, I will need the gear for Traya. And here you have the I don't know, yeah. There are only 2 pieces. I'm not going to buy it then. And here, yeah, this one is always in my way. You need 20 of them for most. Yeah, actually, you always need 20 of them. That's where they get in my way because, yeah, when I need them, I need immediately 20 of them. So,
yeah,
and I can easily get a new guild or a new shard currency purely through the Galactic War store or the Squad Arena store. And here, this one, don't buy it again because look how many I have. And here, yeah, these are beginning player content, so I would say recommend it to beginning players too.
Yeah, every now and again, if I remember right, I will pick some of those up because some characters will need them as they go up. Like
I had one character. At time I needed like 5 stun guns because I was using building up a Sith squad.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you see stun guns anywhere, buy them.
Yep.
I wish they were in the guild store. That would make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I wish they gave us a little more currency to buy for gear pieces, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And then let's see. Yeah. Actually, the was right now. Yeah, we just went through the. We were just recommending actually what you should buy in the store. But anyways, I think we're done right now, eh?
Yep, that sounds good with me, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for
do
having me on, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have any do you have any final words?
Not much except for just thanks for having me on. Appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, just take a look into the video. Whenever you gear farm, you always want to have purpose, and so don't be farming stuff that you don't need because down the road you may pay the price for it. So just be really diligent and discerning about how you about what you're modding and what you're farming. So
Yeah. Well, anyways, this is the end of the video. Please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. We are on the way to 50 subscribers. We'd really appreciate it. But anyways, we're done now. I'm Marco, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen,
let the Wookiee win.
I believe I'm self-made, yeah.